Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS and the inventor of the CTKS method and BORSOG trading. If you're new, a very warm welcome and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently down 2.53% to 16,350. Ethereum is down 2.36% to 1225. When looking at total crypto market cap, we can see we were rejected from this particular area of support and we've actually fallen through a key SL. This is now acting as resistance. If we don't manage to get above the $795 billion mark, and we're currently at 784 as an entire crypto industry, we could expect negative momentum down to the 753 level. If we manage to get across 795, and we're almost starting to get a slight change in trend here, so that may be possible that we're going to come up and retest 795. But if we get above that and take out this resistance here and get to the 816, $724 billion mark, that is a very nice sign of recovery. We certainly don't want to keep on going down. We know that we need to think in three dimensions. What happens if price goes down? We consider that first. What if it goes flat or neutral? And what happens if it goes up? And we typically buy at spot, so we're looking for upward price momentum. Even in markets like this, you can do really well, but you must know what you're doing. Always remember, you control the trade or investment, but the market controls the return. Getting a position on where you think the market will go, but actually thinking about the other scenarios, is what smart money does. And the purpose of this BORSOG code, which is explained fully in episode 685, is to think about the market first, your portfolio second, and then how synchronized in with the market you feel. And here's a bit of a cheat sheet for you on how to interpret this particular code. You just come up with your own code each and every day, and you'll find that the market will reward you for your knowledge, courage, and active learning. And well done to everybody who puts in their BORSOG codes each and every day. That's just fantastic. It doesn't matter if you're right or if you're wrong. What actually matters is that you try. You'll find that over time you'll just get better and better at synchronization, and that's what it's all about. When you're synchronized in with the market, you will do so very well. And if you have family or friends who could benefit from what we do each and every day and positive excellence, please introduce them to our community by sharing a video. We'd love to see them here. We have one of the best communities on YouTube. And thank you so much, Nabil, for your very nice words. Nabil says, I've never met any of you, but I truly love and respect you all. That's just beautiful. Thank you, Nabil. And Nabil says, I just love this channel and our community. We're so grateful that you're here, my friend. And it's wonderful to see people commenting. Aspeg, thank you very much, my friend. And Aspeg says, P.S. I'm not a bot. Bitcoin is currently trading at 16,178. We can see we lost this smart money buy level. It's now turned into a smart money sell level at 16,626. We were giving this particular line a lot of weight yesterday when we were talking. If we actually managed to fall below that 16,626, there was going to be a lot of negative pressure. And unfortunately, we've seen that negative pressure follow through. But we're not scared about this because of Rule 252. We are prepared and not scared. By doing your daily three-dimensional risk management code, you're actually preparing yourself for the volatility inside the crypto market. I'd like to explain a little bit more how you can read these smart money buy and sell levels. For example, if we just go back in time, we can see a very strong one around 16,626 and a lesser one at 17,102. And I'll just explain what happens typically with these lines. They act like magnets. So over time, we can see that we actually got a really big sell-off. Thanks, Sam. And we hit this 16,626 line and we just bounded up. The magnetism comes because these lines tend to bounce between each other. Price between these lines continues to bounce up and down. Now, what did we see? A retesting of that 16626, getting stronger, trying to make it back up to the 17102. Just keep this in mind. This is really, really important to understand. Then another retest of the 16626 mark. And what did we see? Just crawling back up, trying to reach the 17102 mark. Failing. Too many sellers in. This is what this wick means. Once upon a time, it's just kind of like geology. Once upon a time, this candle was fully green up to here and it got pushed down by the sellers. That's what this wick means. When we see a large wick down like this, for example, or like this, that was a full red body at one stage, but the buyers pushed it up. This is what these wicks mean. And if we go a little bit further, what do we see here? We're just not getting to 17102. We're trying, but we're just not getting there. What's happened here? The 16626 has been pushed down, but it held the price. And as we go further and further along, the more times these lines get touched, the weaker they actually get. Conventional technical analysis says pretty much the opposite. The more it's touched, the stronger it gets. But these are like what we call cracks in the concrete. The concrete, when it gets cracked and cracked and cracked again, it tends to weaken. And that's absolutely easy to understand. Let's have a look. Testing, retesting that 16626 mark, and now trading below it. We could say that it's come up and retested here, and then it's resumed down. Will we get another magnetization back to this 16626 level? It's kind of just the way the price works. Price is always moving in a wave, but it seems like hell on earth when you're coming down and you're seeing your particular investments and trades turn red. So where is the next likely level of smart money buys? That is at 15752, but it's not a very strong one. So if we go down further, where are the stronger ones? There's one at 14567, and the truly strong ones are at 13900. Turning to the longs and the shorts, we can see the shorts have basically piled into the market and they've been liquidating the longs, and for quite some time. They're absolutely hammering the longs at the moment. And we can see 101.44 million in total liquidations across 61,055 positions. And when we look at total liquidations across the past 24 hours, 72% long. The past 12 hours, about 74% long. The past 4 hours, about 88% long. And the past hour, over 91% long. The longs are increasingly getting whacked by the shorts, but you can see relatively it's not a great amount of volume. I think we cleared out a lot of volume in the derivatives markets back here when the whole FTX saga started to unfold, but that doesn't mean there's not more pain to come. We have to be prepared in those three dimensions: up, neutral, and down, but always consider down first. And our community is very, very different. We go long at spot. We know from the rules inside the masterclass that no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. And when Bitcoin comes down, it's going to drag the entire alt market with it. And we can see that's pretty much the case. But around 1% of cryptos will temporarily escape Bitcoin's gravity. And we can see those here in the top 100. And they're really, really good to look at. Keep your eyes on the greatest gainers in the past 24 hours. The first one is TWT, Trust Wallet. Why is this actually occurring? Because a lot of people are saying centralized exchanges, they're becoming really worried about them. FTX was supposed to be rock solid, but it didn't turn out that way. And of course, there are questions on other exchanges as well. And Trust Wallet is the way that you can take your money off exchanges. So just keep this in mind. And when you see any reported activity of hacks, just keep your eye on Tornado Cash, because Torn tends to go up when there are any hacks. Also in the greatest gainers list is CVX, TON, Axie Infinity, GMX, and KCS. Crypto.com is in the top list of the top 100 losers over the past 24 hours. When it did some proof of reserves, it actually showed it had a huge amount of a meme coin, and that was not a very good reaction that we saw from that. CRO is down 24%, APT down as well, Chiliz is down, Solana is down, Casper is down, and Lunacy is down. CZ, the CEO of Binance, said if an exchange has to move large amounts of crypto before or after they demonstrate their wallet addresses, it's a clear sign of problems. And that was posted on Twitter in the aftermath of the Crypto.com accidentally transferring more than 300,000 Ethereum worth $360 million off its exchange. CZ said, "Stay away." I thought it could be really helpful to look through exchange tokens. Now, exchange tokens are issued through a centralized exchange. For example, BNB. If people hold BNB on Binance, they're entitled to discounts on their trading fees. So that's kind of the concept. They can also stake it. So when we look at BNB, we can see a brutal sell-off has been going on, but not quite as brutal as poor old FTT, which has come down 92.34%. You might notice KuCoin's exchange token, KCS, has absolutely rocketed up. That's because KuCoin is doing proof of reserves. And I explained this in yesterday's video. We can see CRO coming down 45% down, whereas BNB is 16% down. Leo is about 14% down, and OKB is 4% up. Go OKB. HT is 46% down. GT, just over the same period of time, is about 25% down, and FTT is just a little over 92% down. Let's have a look how the DEXs are playing out. These are the decentralized exchanges. Uni, poor old Uni's been hit very hard, 21% down. The entire crypto industry has been pulled down in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. This is the thing to understand about Bitcoin. Bitcoin controls the fate of your beloved alts. Never ever underestimate the power of Bitcoin. XLM down 20%. Cake is down nearly 17%. SNX down nearly 20%. Rune down about 30%. 1 inch down about 20. Balancer down about 25%, as is sushi. I was so hungry I couldn't get my words out. I've been in financial markets for more than 3 decades, and institutions play games with retail. They're always bidding the price up to make retail really, really happy to put their money into the market. But when they always crash the price, the markets, the retail crowd just heads for the hills. They literally go up the wall. And who can blame them? Because we see all these blood red days and people say, wow, that hurts so much. And it does. It really does. But you can also see that the institutions are pushing up price to call people back. And this is always what happens. Price is always moving in a wave. The institutions literally play on people's emotions. They want them to think that the market is some kind of casino, or at best a terrifying roller coaster. And this is not just crypto, it's the stock market as well. And when you understand that institutions are deliberately manipulating your feelings, you can step outside this horrible thing, going from thrill to capitulation, panic, and anger. That's not the way you want to live. When you understand Zone 3 and Zone 4 behavior, just push your life into the positive excellence zone, and that can be really difficult. So many people make blame the central focus of their life, but the problem with blame is that it actually stops learning, and learning is required to succeed in this world. Also, smart money is unemotional. They just say, okay, if something doesn't work, they get out and they try again. They're knocked down, but they just keep on getting back up. They're very, very resilient. They put in the hard work. They don't make excuses, and they do everything they can to dedicate time and patience to learn as much as they possibly can. There are also a lot of rules, and when you mark up your charts with the CTKS method, what you actually find is there are smart money buy and sell levels inside market structure that very, very few people will ever see. And why don't people put in that hard work to find these particular buy and sell levels? Because it is actually really hard work to do. But when you're putting your money on the line, every edge that you can get is a good one. And when we look at Zone 1 and Zone 2, and these are the 4 zones that every single investor and trader progresses through to attain consistent profitability and also happiness. When people are full of blame and full of conflict, that's a very ugly place to live, because it's like sleeping on barbed wire or broken glass. It just perpetuates every single day. A lot of people in Zone 1 and Zone 2 are attracted to riches. Riches are the very showy side of wealth, but in Zone 3 and Zone 4, we are attracted to wealth. Wealth is very quiet. When you have a lot of wealth, you absolutely don't want to show it to other people. And why is that? Because when you're truly wealthy, you don't realistically care what other people think of you. And why is that? Because you've done the hard work. You know who you are. In fact, from the Masterclass, Rule 735, wealth is not riches. Poor people can be wealthy. In crypto technical analysis, the focus is not money, it's professionally scaling success. When it comes to money, there are 2 types of people. People who make money their god. They put it on a pillar and they worship it. Unfortunately, money is unlimited in its resource. And you can see that by all the central bank printing of money. Money is just an infinite resource. You can never have enough. And there is the second kind of person that just says money is the output of doing the right things. The more right things you do, the more money will be attracted to you over time. But there are many, many more important things than money. One is inner peace and outer peace. Another is kindness. Another is integrity and decency, gratitude and happiness. These are all ways to live a very, very beautiful life. And if you're not happy from day to day, that makes life very, very miserable. Moving from negative excellence, which is Zone 1 and Zone 2, into positive excellence, which is Zone 3 and Zone 4, is actually much easier than a lot of people understand. The first thing is to just become aware. If you're suffering from conflict, if you're getting out there and telling people off, if you're being one of those people, you think you may be standing tall and standing strong, but are you in fact just showing your inner unhappiness? In Zone 3 and Zone 4, we have positive excellence as our foundation. That means we become independent of the views and thoughts of others. This is really, really important. There's always people that will reach out and criticize anything that you are doing. It doesn't matter how much good work you do. They will reach out and criticize. Why? Because they're not happy. If you're going through life and doing the right thing and being a decent human being, just go independent of what other people think. It's largely irrelevant anyway. A really good example of this, if you're at work and somebody is criticizing you, just work harder. Just do your best. Come to work every day with your A game, and soon nobody will listen to that person at all. Just prove yourself by your actions. That's all we can ever do anyway. I would just like to share something from the masterclass because I think it's incredibly important. There are 3 ways for people to think. They can have poor thinking, rich thinking, or wealthy thinking. Only about 1% of the population has wealthy thinking. And of course, the thing to understand is very, very wealthy people, even billionaires, can have poor thinking. This is not about money, it's about thinking. When people come from a basis of poor thinking, they're in scarcity and survival. The scarcity and survival zones are zones 1 and zones 2. When people get away from poor thinking and move towards rich thinking, and that's a minority of people as well, unfortunately it's still scarcity, but it's a lot of showing off. It's all about domination. It's all about win or lose. That's not the way to go in life. We all need to work together. Wealthy thinking is a completely different way of thinking. It's all about an abundance and contribution mindset. You can see just how clearly scarcity and survival don't add up to abundance and contribution. When people are in survival mode, they don't think there's any abundance. They think they have to take away from another to get. That's clearly the wrong kind of thinking, because that's not how the world works. The world works on innovation and contribution. If you look at Elon Musk and say, well, Elon's done very well because of his contributions to the world. Wealthy thinking is all about a positive excellence life trend. It's all about win-win. It's putting relationships first. But wealthy thinking has very, very strong boundaries as well. To have wealthy thinking, it doesn't mean that you just let anybody into your life. Actually, it means the opposite. You become very, very discerning. And the reason that I raise those 3 different levels of thinking, because so many people in the market are really, really hurting at the moment. They've not prepared for this negative downside action. They haven't been doing their 3-dimensional risk management codes. And of course, even if you do it, it's easy to get wrong-footed because the market, the institutions are always trying to desynchronize you. But there is one thing we know from our professional view of the market. When you get big pushes down in price, you get sharp angles reflecting. Maybe not all the way up, but certainly they do reflect. You just have to be in a position to take advantage of it. And that requires a huge amount of confidence and courage. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, fear is the CEO of a person's life. In Zone 3 and Zone 4, courage is the CEO of a person's life. You literally just have to make the decision each and every day. Who is the CEO of my life? Is it courage or is it fear? And if it is courage, it must be courage that actually has a basis coming from knowledge. That's why we always say start small and scale. Many people feel trapped in Zone 1 and Zone 2. The only way to get out of these zones where you lose money, lose relationships, just lose everything, and scarcity and jealousy go together. It's all about poor thinking. You can see poor thinking, rich thinking, wealthy thinking. You can see the differences between those now. The only way to get out of Zone 1 and Zone 2 and into Zone 3 and Zone 4 is learning, and a process I call diamondization. That's not demonization, that's becoming a diamond. You literally get so many losses that it just burns the emotions out of you. And how did you get the losses in the first place? Those damn pesky institutions stepped in and said, I'm going to control you emotionally. When you go through diamondization, you actually think about everything differently. Not about things in terms of certainty, but things in terms of probability. You put the hard work in to learn as much as you possibly can. And in learning, you start to stack probabilities in your favor. I'd like to share something that could be beneficial. When we're talking about BORSOG trading, buy on red, sell on green, of course, there's a lot of knowledge involved in this. You can't just buy red and be profitable. You must know what you're doing. But the concept is when you synchronize in with the market, you can scale from there. The market is designed to desynchronize you from price action. So therefore, just descale. One thing that's really, really helpful, if you're committing to a position and you just can't sleep at night, well, this is what I say. If I can't sleep at night when I do a position, I just take off that position. I just need my sleep, and you do too. In the comments today, I thought it would be really good to talk about inner peace and how you guard inner peace. It's very, very important in order to live a very healthy and happy life. I'm really looking forward to your thoughts. When you're trading, you need to be on top of your game, and it's really hard to do that if you're not getting any sleep. If you're worried about your trades, it might be a sign that you're maybe too heavily into a specific trade. But of course, always use your own judgment. And I know a lot of people are going through some pretty severe life pullbacks, and I just want to let you know that our community's love and healing thoughts are with you. There's always hope, and the sun will come out again. And most importantly, with our CTKS global family, you're not alone. On a day like today, with so much negativity, it's important to just try to figure out what zone might I be in. If you are in zone 1 or zone 2, don't be too concerned about that, because we all go through it. But you don't want to stay there. You want to get out of there, because happiness is a pretty important thing in life. Crypto Turtle said, "I see opportunity in the market every day. But I do not enter blindly. I have the skills." And as Al said, opportunities are everywhere, but this is a zone 3, zone 4 mindset. In zone 1 and zone 2, people see fear, loss, just everywhere, especially in markets like this. And as Art said, those who are alert and not panicking right now will see opportunities that most others will miss. And Art said, we're going to have a lot of volatility coming our way, both up and down. And while others are running off the dance floor, some of us will recognize the best songs and will be there dancing our extra fat off. I changed that a little, says Art. Oh, Art, you're so naughty. As J-Ling said, opportunities require calmness, skill, and sometimes luck to spot. Zone 1 and Zone 2 thinking will definitely minimize the chance of recognizing opportunities. And that's because Zone 1 and Zone 2 are all about anger and panic. Both are very, very stressful. And John took it from another perspective, which is a really good perspective to do. We don't always see an opportunity when it presents itself. And when that happens, we feel as though we've missed out. But the key is to not blame, because blame stops learning. And John said there will always be more opportunities down the line. We learn, we are patient, and we keep looking. Thank you, John. And Rajat says, challenging times are an opportunity to rise above one's comfort zone and enhance themselves. Managing change creates great possibilities. And when positive excellence principles are upheld, self-sabotage just fades away, and people will be able to capitalize on life-changing opportunities. And John had something really fantastic to share about how to identify opportunities that Zone 3 and Zone 4 thinking creates. John said, turn up every day, stack the probabilities, know knowledge dissolves fear, take and act with rules, recognize smart money actions, and master emotional control with courage. Just exceptional, John. And how do you fight the fear that the expected opportunity may not create itself? John said, courage here, I think, is the key, and you're absolutely right. Of course, courage is built on knowledge, and you just explained that by turning up every day, stacking the probabilities, having the knowledge, acting with rules. A really, really good comment, John. Thank you for sharing, and thank you everybody for sharing as well. The markets at the moment are very chaotic, and you'll need all of your courage to combat that fear that naturally arises at times like this. In times like this, it's all about learning. The more learning you can do, the better off you will definitely be. And thank you, Crypto Monkey, for your kind words. There will be a lot of opportunities coming up. Remember those double-digit green days? They didn't last for long, and we thought that they may not, and they didn't. But unfortunately, that is the way of the market. But the concept is we'll be seeing a lot more of those. And just keep that in mind. If you can time those double-digit green days, and you typically time it by an absolutely cataclysmic sell-off, when everybody is leaving the market, that's when you actually want to be in the market. But just start small and scale if you don't know what you're doing. And borsogging is just the best way to go, because it will teach you so much about emotions. And you can see here with the top 8, as Bitcoin's gravity comes down, it drags all of the alts with it, some more so than others. But it's just the way the crypto market works. So please keep your eye on Bitcoin. Every day, we look at the CTKS Creed while we're trying to seek out BORSOG opportunities. And it's really important to gain skills inside the actual market, but just make sure that the fees are within what is handleable by you, what you can handle. Miguel Angel said some really beautiful things. I translated the CTKS Creed to Spanish to my girlfriend while we were cooking and listening to your video. That's just so beautiful. Thank you, Ken, for such a beautiful creed, and thank you, community. Have a great day. This is the quality of the people inside our community. They're just magnificent. Thank you, my friend, for sharing. And hello to your girlfriend as well, from Kate and I. The CTKS Creed is incredibly important and valuable, and it's very, very empowering. And the CTKS Creed is all about a series of positive affirmation statements. And those are just positive statements that you say to yourself. Those positive statements help pave the way to Zone 3 and Zone 4, and that's where all the happiness is. The first one is, I know the universe wants me to succeed. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities and life reset daily. I am worthy. I go slow to go fast. I start small and scale with BORSOG, and starting small is really important. Don't risk so much that you can't sleep at night. That's not a good sign. Life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. Blame is an incredibly toxic human emotion, and when you do everything you can to possibly get rid of blame, you're actually sowing the seeds for a much, much happier life. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.